This is the start of the area for the proposed private road application. You can see to the left there, that's the end of the lake. Then there's the dam. Then down the bank, there's a bit of a ditch, and then the road. And then Brown Lake Park, which is no motor vehicles, no camping, no fires, that sort of thing. You can also see, mostly buried under snow, but the water district has gone through a lot of effort placing rocks to keep the quads and vehicles off their dam. I would say about every 2 years they need to come up and rearrange the rocks as people take it upon themselves to make their own access up to the dam. So now we're going to carry on down the road itself, give you a bit of an idea what the terrain is like. Again, more rocks that SEKID is put to keep people off the dam. It's one of those signs that wants people to stay off the dam, and it gets knocked over on a regular basis. Down in the ditch, again, more rocks SEKID is put so that people can't get up and over onto their dam. We're now heading west along the north end of the lake. This is Brown Lake Provincial Park. On my right here, you can see that there's no camping here. It's marshy. There's quad tracks through the marshes. And then there's a little creek that flows from underneath the dam. It flows into Grouse Creek. Continues the ATV across that. More of SEKID rocks. This is a spot up here that people like to camp. There is no camping allowed. Brown Lake Park. It doesn't stop a lot of people. I don't know if you can see it in the video there. There's a fire pit with a bunch of garbage in it. Right past the sign that indicates no camping. Brown Lake Park boundary. And someone's taken it upon themselves to leave a little raw sewage at the bottom of that sign. Over in that area there, there's actually a homemade toilet that someone has made, and it's right beside the creek that flows out of Brown Lake when the lake is full. So that's more in the spring. That's the Brown Lake overflow right there. You can see it flows right across the road. Right now, of course, it's frozen. Then down this creek bed, right past the toilet. So we'll carry on. It's still Brown Lake Park on my right as we're carrying along here. More rocks. SEKID to keep people off the dam. People do like to camp there. They also like to plug up that overflow to try and raise the level of the lake. As we cruise along here, you can see that there really are no suitable places for camping. It's all marshy to my left, which is the lake side. Big giant puddles on the road here, and then off to the right is just forest. So we'll just continue on here. Panning to my left and to my right to just kind of show you the terrain, give you the best idea that we can anyways. It is still Brown Lake Park on my right, and to the left is well, the area between the road and the lake, I guess. As you can see, it's pretty treed. It's on a hill. fish in this area, and I know of no other lake that has a road all the way around it. Typically, access points are to a designated camping area, and then that's it. This is one area that people do like to camp. You can see it's wet, it's marshy, and right now the lake is not at full pool. It only becomes a camping spot once the water goes down in the spring and people actually camp below the high water mark. I'll show you a little area here that you can see where people have been cutting down the trees to try and expand this area to make it a little more campable. Lots of little trees cut down. You're not legally allowed to cut down trees. This right here is an area where somebody lit a fire, abandoned it, and if it wasn't for one of the cabin owners with a bucket and a shovel of water, who knows what would have happened. People do tend to like to use this spot when there's forest, or rather campfire bans on. It's a little more discreet for them, and that does happen on a regular basis. Just a little more of a shot of the lake. What I'm shooting at right now actually is the corner where it is designated camping. This road goes, no way has any influence on access to that. We'll just continue on now. It's still Brown Lake Road, or rather Brown Lake Park on my right. I think it stops coming up here pretty soon, but we'll continue on down the road. You can see there is no real decent camping areas along here. Certainly nothing designated. When people do camp here, they leave their sewage right near the campground. It's not hard to find right where they've camped. Piles of feces and toilet paper. And that is within a few feet of a watershed lake. Drinking water. People have water licenses for their domestic waters for the cabins on this lake. I believe we're probably just leaving the park now. I can't say exactly for sure, but it is somewhere right around here. Coming up on the recreational leases and the cabins. 100% of the cabin owners are in support of this. They're tired of picking up after the people and seeing all the raw sewage when they're out on their walks and stuff. Just going to pan back and forth again. Lake is still to my left. SEKID has moved some rocks to keep people from camping on their dam. This is their flow control valve here, and you can see the sign in the background. I believe this whole road was constructed in the 70s to allow access for them to build that flow control, as well as the dam at the other end. Now the application for the road goes, I believe, about a half a kilometer past here, so we'll continue on just a little bit further. So you can see there are really not too much changes. Goes into Fish Lake. This road is really rough in the summer. There's lots of big rocks sticking out, and a lot of transmissions and stuff hit the rocks and leave spills. So this is, I don't know if this is a half K past the dam or not, but we'll stop it here, and that gives you a pretty good idea of the area that the application covers.